Look out, Book of the Month, Aardvark's coming for ya. Hey guys, welcome back. If you've been here a while, then you know I am a huge Book of the Month fan. I'm a big fan of book boxes in general, but I love that with Book of the Month, you can pick new releases from their picks for your box. Now, I always think that having options is a great thing. So I love that Aardvark is a Book of the Month competitor offering the same setup with just different books each month. So let's compare the two, shall we? Now, Book of the Month is well known. They actually started back in like the 20s and then came back in 2018, and it seems to be going strong as ever since. I just want to bring some light to Aardvark. They started in October of 2022, and I've been keeping tabs on them. And let me just tell you, they've really hit their stride. In this video, we're gonna be talking about the differences between these two services, mainly being their book offerings and the quality of their books. But let's start with price. So, Book of the Month for pricing can be confusing. Some people are grandfathered in at a specific rate, so it can make each person's experience different. Their site currently offers the price of $16.99 per credit, and then $16.99 add-ons until you've shipped 3 boxes. Then the add-on price drops to $11.99. I say it's different because on Reddit I've seen for some people add-ons are $9.99. For some people, add-ons are $10.99. It just varies, which I don't love. I would like it to be consistent for everyone because it just gets confusing. Now for Book of the Month, every month members can select 1 book and then can purchase up to 2 extra books to ship. The first book must be from the newest month's picks, but the extra books can be from any month/add-ons. The amount of books that you can add for add-ons does vary with how long you've been a member. For example, when you first start out, you can add 2. I've been a member for years and I can add 4, but it's not consistent for everyone, once again. Now, shipping for Book of the Month is included via USPS. It ships just like normal USPS things. Not super reliable, just kind of depends on when you get it. For me, shipping comes immediately. Sometimes shipping is a little delayed. I don't really feel like that's Book of the Month's fault. Now, at any time you can skip or cancel the service. So that's really nice. You're not tied in, there's no contracts, nothing like that. Just cancel whenever you want or skip whenever you want. Now for Aardvark, their price is the same for everyone, no matter how long you've been with the service. Their site currently offers $17.99 a book and then $9.99 for add-ons. That's it. It's the same for everyone, no matter when you've joined. And then every month, members can select 1 book and then purchase up to 2 extra books. The first book must be from the newest month's picks, but the extra books can be from any month. And for everyone, the box only ships 3 books, so the main pick and then 2 add-ons. Shipping is included for Aardvark via USPS. So again, the shipping does depend on USPS's speed. It's unavoidable. Now the skipping is a new feature that they added. I don't know how long ago they added it, but I know when I first became a member with Aardvark back when they first started, skipping wasn't an option. And I actually canceled because of that reason. I was like, I don't want to get a book every single month. Some of these picks I'm not into, but they have added a skip option, which is wonderful. All in all, initial price has to go to Book of the Month. It's $1 cheaper than Aardvark. However, add-on prices go to Aardvark. I love for Aardvark that their add-on price is $9.99 for everyone. It's not confusing. There's no pay drops for however many months you've been a member. There's none of this people who are grandfathered in have a lower add-on price nonsense. It's just everyone's the same. And I kind of appreciate the simplicity of that. Now, how do you order for both of these services? Both services have an app and a website, which is nice. Back in the day, when Aardvarks first started, they used to only have the app. So you could browse books on the website, but to purchase, you had to go to the app. So I think it's a huge improvement to add the website option. Personally, I like having the option for the app and the website for both services because I tend to use my laptop a lot, especially when I'm filming videos and I'm looking at the selections. I wanted to be able to just make my purchase right there on the website. But I do like from the app, you can look for both services at past books you've ordered. You can look at your bookshelf. You can look at all the options on the app. But in terms of ease of use for both services, the app versus the website, they're both pretty identical in my opinion. I don't think the app or the website for Book of the Month or Aardvark, I don't feel like either of them are superior. It just depends on whether you're a person who is more on their laptop or more on their phone. So you're saying, okay, so I can order the books the same, prices are pretty identical, but what's the book quality like? So the book quality for each of these services, it's different. Starting with Book of the Month, their branding and logo are on the front of the book and the spine. Now the spine logo is dependent on the publisher's allowance. So some books may have the Book of the Month coin on the spine, some will not, which will make your books inconsistent if you're someone who cares about that. For Book of the Month, the logo and the month/year are embossed on the naked book. The book does have a basic hardback texture. If you think of going to the store, buying a normal hardback book, taking the cover off, the book feels similar. It feels like paper, essentially. Like it feels like a cardboardy texture. I know that some people do complain about the quality of Book of the Month, saying that in terms of like spine and like the glue and such that they use isn't as great as buying from like a traditional publisher, which I have encountered that. I have had some situations where my books spines, the pages have come up from the book, which isn't great. I don't love that. But at the same time, it's a hardcover book. And I don't really have that much to complain about when it comes to the quality of their hardcover books. My biggest thing that I have found with Book of the Month's hardcover books, when I take the covers off, the actual hardcover book does get easily fingerprinted, which I don't love. When you take the slipcover off, and if you're reading the book without the slipcover, I have noticed that, especially if you have sweaty hands, which I do, the book gets rough. The book can get pretty not cute afterwards. You can, for me at least, it does get some sweat stains on the actual book, which I don't love. It looks gross to me, and it is what it is. So I think that's a me thing. It may, if you have sweaty hands, you may have this issue, but I think it's mainly a me thing. But that also does happen to me on traditional publisher books as well. My hands just, they're kind of gunky, not gonna lie. Now for Aardvark's quality, I do think their quality has really improved since the first box that I got back in 2022. So the first box that I first got, the book, when you moved it, it made a creaking noise, which wasn't great. But since then, all of the quality of the books have really increased. So for Aardvark's books, their Aardvark logo is incorporated or hidden somewhere into the design of the cover of the book. On the spines of the Aardvark books, there's no logo. So they look like any sort of traditional books that you purchase from a publisher. The Aardvark logo is on the naked book as well, if you take the slipcover off. Now, the book texture for Aardvark, completely different from Book of the Month, and I'm really into it. Aardvark has this like soft, silky texture to their books. So it's really interesting. It feels soft on the slipcover and on the naked book when you're touching it. And I have found that my fingerprints do leave marks on the book due to sweat, but due to the hardcover's texture, with it being like a smooth, silky texture, I'm actually able to wipe the smudges off of the Aardvark books, unlike with Book of the Month. With Book of the Month, I feel like my fingerprints sometimes stain the books, but with Aardvark, I'm able to just wipe them right off and there's no more smudges. So that's kind of nice. I definitely do think I like Aardvark's books better, just the quality of them. There is something about the buttery smooth texture of the book that I almost find luxurious. I also do love the Aardvark's Naked book colors. So when you take the slipcover off, they all have such bright colors under the slipcover. It's like a fun hidden surprise. With Book of the Month, when you take the slipcover off, all of the books are very basic. They all look exactly the same, very, very, very clean, very minimalistic, but Aardvarks are they're very fun. One thing I do like for Book of the Month's design over Aardvark's is the embossment on the Naked book on the front cover, indicating the month and the year that the book was a pick. I think that's super cool. I do love being able to look at my past books and quickly look at when the book was from. I think that's an awesome feature. So of course, we have to talk about the book choices. Book of the Month, they offer 5 to 7 main picks a month. Add-ons are completely random on how many. Now, add-ons can be sometimes better than the main picks, but you cannot choose an add-on on its own. To get an add-on, you have to choose a main pick from that month to get any add-ons. So they kind of get you there. Now, lately they've been randomly dropping new add-ons in the middle of the month, which I don't love because by the time the middle of the month comes, everyone has pretty much already made their picks back in the first week of the month. And so now you have to wait until the next new month to get an add-on in your box if you want it. I mean, yeah, it creates a little bit of hype. It creates a little bit of excitement for the next month, being like, oh great, there's an add-on that I want. But for me, I'm like, why didn't you just put this out sooner so I could have gotten it with last month's box? It makes me mad. With Book of the Month, they will drop some hints in their app regarding the main picks for the next month, but they aren't always for every book. Hints will range from word scrambles to literally a picture of the top portion of the book. So the difficulty of the spoilers range, but if you don't want anything spoiled, don't go snooping around the app essentially, and definitely don't go to Reddit. Anytime there's hints or anything, there will be posts saying, I think these are where the book's gonna be, and they are on it. They know what those hints are gonna be. For Book of the Month, their picks come out that month or are early releases for the next month. That's pretty cool when they do an early release. It can be really, really awesome to be reading a book that comes out at like the end of the month, the next month. So I love that they do early releases. I think that's a huge bonus. I do have an entire video regarding Book of the Month's picks, essentially. I did a breakdown of everything that they picked for the year of 2023. So I get into that in that video. But bottom line being, I am never a huge fan of their romance picks. So I am mainly a romance reader. They never seem to pick the romance books that I'm excited for. And the ones they do pick, I'm like, I don't think that they sound very good. So it's kind of a bummer for me when it comes to romance picks. Frequency is really, really big for things like thrillers, literary fiction, historical fiction. If you are fans of those genres, cool. Book of the Month is going to be your best friend. Now, Aardvark does 5 to 6 main picks a month. They do lots of hints on their Instagram for the books, and then they hint all of the book picks. However, the hints for the books are really hard. So a lot of times they'll just do like locations, like they'll pick a Google map and say like, here's a country and be like, where's the book? And I'm always like, I don't know. The hints I find to be very difficult, but if you have Reddit, again, the subreddit for Aardvark, they get the hints. So if you want to know what the hints are, go to Aardvark, check it out. Somebody's gonna give you spoilers over there. And if you want them, great, they're there. And they're really, really, really on key with knowing what the spoilers are. For Aardvark, for choosing add-ons, they can be from the current or a past month. However, a lot of the books that have sold out from past months are not restocked, which I don't love. Aardvark does not have a separate thing for add-ons. You can only choose from the collection of past months, either this month or past months, which would be great if they constantly restocked past months. There are several romance books that have been past months picks that I now really, really want, but they're sold out. And it does not seem like they're coming back. I've been rechecking the app and whenever I order for months, and they're just not available anymore. I'm looking at you, Business or Pleasure. I want that romance book, but Aardvark has not restocked it, and I really want it. So it's one of those things, and they sell out quickly too. So I don't know if it's because Aardvark is just growing so quickly that they aren't able to quite anticipate how many people are gonna order how many books, but that is definitely a thing where if you want something from Aardvark, you better order it right when you get the notification on your app that the books are up, because you may not get that book because it may sell out. A couple of different things that Aardvark has done that with their book editions that I think is pretty fun. For their book of the year, their big book from last year that I think people voted on, they actually released a special edition of that book that you could purchase as a main pick. I thought that was super cool. I love special editions. And then also in April, they had a signed edition of a book, which was super cool. That book was A Sweet Sting of Salt, and I actually ended up getting it because it was signed. And I was like, oh, it sounds interesting, but it's signed. So I ended up getting it. And I've never seen Book of the Month do a signed edition of a book before. So I thought that was pretty cool. One gripe I have about Aardvark is I don't love the timing of their main picks. Usually their main picks for a month were released the month previous. Let's say that it's the month of June, but they're featuring books that were released in May. I don't love that they come out a month later, because if I was interested in it, then I probably already purchased it as like a pre-order or through Amazon or wherever. And I didn't know, hey, I should probably wait because Aardvark's gonna have it as a pick. My real life situation that this happened with was Bride by Alice Hazelwood. That book was released in February. I purchased it, and then Aardvark had it as a March pick. It should have been a February pick. I don't know. That's just how I feel. But a nice thing about Aardvark is they actually feature books that normally would have been released as a softcover. So they do more of like kind of lesser known books almost who aren't having a hardcover release. So if you do see a book on Aardvark that you want to get a hardcover edition of it, then that's a great route, because there are quite a few books that I've gotten on there that are only available in softcover that I've ended up getting hardcover in because Aardvark featured them. Also, Aardvark, gotta say, you know how to pick those romances. There are books I've already had my eye on. I also love, love, love that Aardvark puts a spice rating for their romance books in the description. I love you. Thank you so much. Book of the Month does not do this. Book of the Month will just say, oh, it's salacious. All right, but what's the spice rating though, really? I love, love, love that Aardvark will tell you out of 5 how spicy it is. Is it open door? Is there a lot of sex scenes? What is it? I love, love, love that they add that. That makes me so happy. I can't tell you how happy that makes me. Someone I feel like at Aardvark likes romance and they speak to me and I love it, love it, love it. So lastly, I do want to talk about special features. I have to highlight Book of the Month. They do have some awesome special features for being a loyal subscriber. First, every year, if you are a BFF, which means you've shipped 12 boxes, you get a free book of the year. You also, on your birthday month, get a free book. Free books. I mean, you can't really argue with that. And once you've hit that threshold of shipping 12 boxes, if you don't cancel your subscription, you always just get that. For the free books, that month you do have to order a main pick to get the free book as an add-on. But you know, I'm okay with that. I'll pick a free book. I'll pay for a book to get a free book. That's fine with me. I actually really do like that they offer that. It makes you feel a little special. Also, if you're into audiobooks, Book of the Month does have audiobooks that you can purchase using your credits as well. Now, at this time, Aardvark does not have any special perks for being a loyal subscriber. That might change into the future. I'm kind of curious to see how Aardvark will continue to grow and evolve and change. I mean, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to get a free book after shipping 12 boxes. I wouldn't mind that, Aardvark. But, you know, it is what it is. All in all, I'm a big fan of both services. I think both services have definite perks and drawbacks. Not gonna lie though, I love the fact that there is now an alternative to Book of the Month. I'm really happy that Aardvark has joined this service model, I'm glad that they're here because I've always loved the Book of the Month service model. I love that you can pick out new release books, have them shipped right to your door each month. I love getting book mail, and now I can get double the book mail. And if I don't like what Book of the Month is offering this month, I can see what Aardvark has, and vice versa. I like having more options. If you have been on my channel, you know that for years now, I have done monthly selection videos for the Book of the Month. Well, the time has now come where I will add in monthly selection videos for Aardvark. I've found that every month I definitely have things to say about Aardvark's picks, so I'm excited to add them to my video schedule. So be sure to check out my monthly selection videos on drop days for Book of the Month and now Aardvark. That's it for me today, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye!